This event is, as I mentioned earlier, mainly a purpose of reciting Om Mani Padme Hum 100 million times. And at the same time also we provide teachings from 3 different Buddhist traditions. Yesterday, Bande, and both Sifu giving teachings. Day before yesterday, Jabji Kerimuchi giving teachings. And today we have, as before also given Sifu several times, Bhikkhuni Tsongkhar fast. Because of pandemic and all that reason, she couldn't come physically, but she so giving teachings online right now. Sifu session.
Baik, jadi tujuan utama dari acara ini adalah melafalkan 100 juta mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. Di samping itu juga menerima pengajaran Dharma yang berbeda-beda dari tradisi yang berbeda-beda dan guru yang berbeda-beda. Kemarin kita punya Yang Mulia Bante Panyasami dan juga Biksuni Kuchen. Dan di hari Jumat kemarin kita menerima pengajaran dari Kyabje Khenchen Rinpoche. Dan sebentar lagi kita akan menerima pengajaran dari Biksuni Chongkai, di mana beliau juga sudah beberapa kali mengisi dan karena pandemi beliau tidak dapat hadir di sini, namun akan bergabung online bersama kita.
Ya, sebelum kita memasuki sesi pengajaran dari Chongkai Fase, ini ada beberapa hal yang ingin kami sampaikan. Yaitu yang pertama, untuk pendaftaran Chautu kita sudah tutup. Jadi Bapak Ibu kami tidak menerima lagi untuk daftar Chautu. Terus yang kedua, berkali-kali ingin kami sampaikan, handphone itu mohon untuk di silent, di setel model diam. Mode diam ya. Ada laporan dari panitia, masih ada kedengaran suaranya. Terus yang ketiga, kami mohon untuk tidak makan di dalam ruangan ini. Ya, tidak makan untuk di ruangan ini. Karena ruangan ini sudah disetel seperti dharmasala. Jadi kami imbau untuk tidak makan di dalam ruangan. Terima kasih kerjasamanya. Oke, mari kita sesi berikutnya adalah pengajaran dari Chongkai Fase.
And next will be Dharma teaching session by Chongkai Fase. For English listener, we have English Zoom room and the link will be sent in the message box or the meeting ID will be shown in running text screen. Suhu Chongkai, begitu ia biasa disapa. Memiliki prinsip segala sesuatu harus mempunyai tujuan yang jelas. Biksuni Chongkai adalah pendiri Yayasan Dharma Suci yang dimana menurut beliau pendidikan merupakan hal yang paling utama dalam hidup. Karena setiap orang yang dekat dengan pendidikan cenderung lebih dekat dengan kebajikan. Oleh sebab itu, Yayasan Dharma Suci yang didirikan beliau mengembangkan 2 sayap pengabdian yang berjalan bersama, yaitu sekolah dan wihara Dharma Suci.
Ya, marilah kita sama-sama pemohonan pengajaran Dharma kepada Suhu Chongkai yang akan dipimpin oleh Saudari Winda.
Para umat dipersilakan untuk berdiri terlebih dahulu. Mari kita membacakan permohonan pengajaran Dharma kepada Chongkai Fase. Akan dibacakan sebanyak 3 kali. 1 kali pertama dalam bahasa Mandarin dan 2 kali selanjutnya dalam bahasa Indonesia.
And the third request will be in Chinese language. So we're going to recite this together.
Piru
譬如安众宝，无等不能见，佛法无人说，虽会不能的，弟子们恭请相宗
下海法师为我们
宗海法师为我们开示。It's like a storage of a jewel. It will not be seen without the light that shine on them. That's why that's also similar like this Dharma jewel. If nobody is explained that, then the wisdom will not arise. So we request a bhikshuni or Tsongkhai nun with the compassion to give us this Dharma teaching. So it is like a storage of a treasure. It will not be seen without a light that shine on them. That's as well with the Jewel Dharma. Nobody could, if nobody explained that, the wisdom will not arise. So we request the Chongkai nun to give Dharma teaching to us.
Ibu Bapak dipersilakan untuk duduk kembali.
So we are about to start the Dharma teaching from my Venerable Chongkai. It's one of a famous nun in Indonesia. It's have a school, hospital, and built so many things in Indonesia in order to flourish the Dharma teaching as well as the. So, good morning to Lama Prabhutashi and Kyabji Khenchen Loro Donyo Rinpoche, and all, as well as all the Venerable Sanghas, as well as to all the committee of Kamboba Indonesia Foundation that work very hard to help this event.
Acara 3 hari ini. Begitu pertama.
So when the first time I read the theme of this 100 million Om Mani Padme Hum, so it reminded me of when I was join a solitary retreat. One person in one special room in China.
Katakanlah pengalaman saya. Kalau huruf
So my experience, Amitabha is only 4 syllable.
Dalam 16 jam baru
in 16 hours, only 100,000 mantra could be achieved.
16 jam ini termasuk 2 kali makan dan beberapa kali masuk kamar mandi.
And that's in 16 hours, I just went for food for 2 times and a few times to the bathroom.
Cuaca kebetulan sudah mulai dingin.
It was cold.
Begitu kita rasa badan ini,
when we feel our body is cold,
pengennya minum air panas. Nah, setelah minum air panas, nggak lama lagi.
And then when we feel cold, then we drink hot water, and then after that we drink. When we feel cold, then we drink hot water. But that time our target is 100 million in 10 days. It was only the mantra of the Amitabha Buddha is only 4 syllable, which is shorter than Om Mani Padme Hum. And then here, we expect to achieve 100 million of Om Mani Padme Hum. Then how to, I think, how this committee could manage the time, how to achieve, even to achieve 100,000 of Amitabha mantra, I need to spend 16 hours per day. Then now your goal is 100,000 of Om Mani Padme Hum. It's a 6 letter. How could finish this 6 syllable in 3 days? Then I asked the committee, and then I found out
kumpulkan 100 juta
to achieve that
dari
100,000 million, that they will gather a lot of people and make commitment after that. Then I could understand this program well. Then I'm sure then you guys can achieve 100 million of Omani Pemeho.
Semua umat sungguh-sungguh melafalkan. Sebenarnya ya Pikwan Nienfo.
And then this solitary retreat has a history behind that.
Tapi mungkin ya di
In Southeast Asia, maybe it's quite a rare thing. So we just hear this recently.
Mulainya di Kyoto, Jepang. Kebetulan juga di tahun 1331. Kejadian.
So many years ago, there is an incident called Black Death. So many people die, as you can see on the picture right now. So that time, many people, devoted people make a commitment to recite some kind of a mantra because of this pandemic, the Black Death pandemic. So they supplicate to the Amitabha Buddha to ease or to pacify this kind of pandemic. So that time, so many people die. It's about 75 million of people pass away because of this Black Death pandemic. So as you can see right now in the picture, so this time we are experiencing this COVID-19 pandemic. That's why we do this event. So that time they make an aspiration to recite the Amitabha mantra to pacify this Black Death pandemic.
Setiap tanggal 15 ya kalender internasional, bukan kalender lunar. Setiap tanggal 15 mereka
so every 15 lunar or 15 Chinese calendar, they do this kind of a recitation together. All of a kind of people with a different background, age, young, old, and then kids and adults, senior, all of them recite this Amitabha Buddha mantra.
Kebetulan ini ada sejarahnya.
So there's a history behind it. So in 1331, there is 75,000 million people die. It was really, really famous. So if you visit Japan, in Kyoto, Japan, you could visit this place because it's this kind of a historic place that are very famous in Kyoto, Japan. So until now, every 15th in a lunar calendar, they still reciting the Amitabha Buddha mantra. So the story started from here.
Di negara Jepang adakan Nienfo yang mencapai ratusan ribu Taiwan.
All lay men and lay women.
Marilah kita bersama-sama.
So let face this pandemic together. And all we know that this pandemic is still here in our country. So we are facing a new wave of the pandemic. It's called Omicron virus. So we need to make intention and be diligent to recite this mantra, the 6-syllable mantra, the Om Mani Padme Hum. So if we recite this mantra diligently, it could pacify all kind of disaster and also problem. Especially right now, many people work from home because of the pandemic, so you have more time.
And all we know, if we reside from home, so many distractions that we have kids, we have a family. When we're about to start, we sit in front of a computer and obstacle come. So I'm sure this must be experienced by a lot of people. You're just about to start to recite your mantra and then obstacle comes. So many kind of obstacles that make you difficult to focus on your practice. But no matter how hard, as long as you have the intention to achieve your goal, you will be able to achieve that if you have intention and be diligent about it. Even you can achieve more than your target if you're diligent. So start from a small amount or small number. So make sure you able to do that. Don't make like a huge amount, but you cannot achieve that. So start from small amount. You can start from 2,000. After 2,000, you can add more. So this is my experience. So I tried to first I tried to make commitment 2,000, and after I finish 2,000, then I add more 2,000. So I feel good after I achieve my goal that time. If other people can do that, why I cannot do that? So I have one video about one Olympic winner. It was in 2000. Oh, in Sydney in 2000. So he's from Africa, represent his country. He never swim before. In 4 months, he do the practice. He tried to do his best to represent his country. So he went to Sydney to join the Olympic. Can you imagine that? Maybe you will say about swimming that you should practice from a very young age, but it's not happened to him. He tried or he practiced for 4 months before the Olympic. And then in 4 months, every day, he only got time 1 hour per day to practice. So in Olympic, you have to swim around 100 meters. Because of his diligence, he practiced very well, then he could achieve his goal. So we are going to play a video about that. So we will watch it together.
To represent the country in swimming. The problem was that he didn't know how to swim. So he started to learn. He swam in his first swimming pool only 4 months before the Olympics at the local hotel in his hometown. That is Olympic swimmer Eric Musambani. He was trying very hard not to drown, and everyone else was worried that he might. Now, you're probably wondering how he got himself in this situation. It all started a year ago in Equatorial Guinea, a country in Central Africa. It was a developing country and lacked many of the proper training facilities you might find in other places. One day there was an ad on the radio asking for people to show up if they were interested in participating in the 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney. Other wealthier nations would not do this, but because of a wildcard system designed to help low-income nations get into the Olympics, basically anyone can apply, even if they don't meet the standard requirements. Eric Musambani heard the radio ad and was the only one who showed up. When he arrived in Sydney, he saw an Olympic-sized swimming pool for the first time. To put this into perspective, an Olympic pool is 50 meters long, while the hotel swimming pool he practiced in was only 12 meters. He knew that he probably wasn't going to win, but he didn't know that he was about to make Olympic history. As he was ready to race in the largest pool he had ever seen, something strange happened. Everyone else had a false start and was disqualified. Everyone, that is, except for Musambani. Even though he was guaranteed to finish in first place, he still had to swim. And swim he did, or at least until halfway through. He struggled down the stretch. The crowd, which was laughing a bit beforehand, started to worry that he might be the first Olympic swimmer to drown during his race. They started cheering him on.
Adrian, I'm not sure he's going to make it, is he?
No, he is. This is the Olympics. He's got 17,000 people shouting for him.
Musambani finished the race and set a new record for the longest first-place swim in Olympic history. And thus, he earned the nickname Eric the Eel. He didn't qualify for the next round and never made the Olympics again. But that didn't stop him. In 2012, he became the coach of Equatorial Guinea's national swimming squad. And thanks to the attention he got, the country now has 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And with his coaching, perhaps one day we will see his name in the Olympics once again.
Teman-teman yang sedharma, di dalam bahasa Mandarin,
So there is a saying.
kata-kata yang
So in Chinese language, there is a saying that I really like.
问收获
So we only could try and try again. So don't think about the result.
Sebab pikiran kita hanya bisa
Because our
fokus
mind
pada satu
only
hal.
can focus in
Kalau
one
kita
thing.
fokus di sesuatu yang saya berusaha
So we
berjuang
could
kepada,
only
pasti kita
focus
tidak
in
mungkin.
things
Hasilnya,
that we are
kalau
trying
kita
right now.
hasilnya, pasti
We
pikiran
couldn't
kita pecah, tidak bisa
focus in two things or two different things.
Kejadian gagal,
If we failed, that's okay. We could try it again.
berulang lagi.
We could try again and again, and one day
Sebuah cerita
we'll be
yang
succeed.
sangat bermakna untuk kita. Dan sedangkan orang ini kita sangat familiar, ya kenal banget. Nah, kepada orang tua yang hadir di acara ini.
So to all
Jom,
the
ingatlah,
senior that attend this
Anda
event,
sering
online or
beli
offline,
KFC
you
buatan
often
Tahu
buy
cerita
the
si kakek
KFC, the
Berapa
fast
kali
food.
dia ketemu gagal.
Do you know the
Kalau
story
lu,
behind this
berusaha
fast
apapun
food?
gagal nggak apa-apa. Saya mau
He
coba lagi.
he tried to
Mencoba
make
lagi.
something and then
Silakan teman-teman menikmati
he failed, but he tried again and
dunia
again. No
tentang
matter how
Harlan
many
Sanders,
times he
yaitu
failed, but he kept
pendiri
trying.
KFC. Nah, kita jangan hanya tahu KFC.
So right now we only know
Kita
about the
tidak tahu
brand,
bahwa
but we don't
sejarah
know
itu
about the
penting
history about that.
bisa jadi
So we should
pengalaman
learn from
kita.
the history
Kita
behind
belajar
that, so
dari
we
Mr.
can
Harlan
learn.
Sanders. Silakan
So we are
menikmati.
going to play one video about that.
Shalom sahabat inspirasi, kita tentunya tidak asing dengan sosok seperti gambar ini. Pada usia 5
So in
tahun,
5 years old, his father passed away.
pada usia 16
At
tahun,
16, he dropped off from school,
17 tahun, dia kehilangan pekerjaan.
and at 17, he lost his job.
Usia 18,
And from 18 to 22 years old,
jadi kondektur.
he worked in a train but failed.
Setelah itu ia mencoba bergerak
Then he joined military
dan ternyata
and again failed.
tak berhenti di situ.
Then he registered
Dan ia
to law school.
mencari peruntungan lain dengan menjadi
He tried his luck to sell insurance,
dan di usia yang
and he failed again.
ia
At the
menjadi seorang
19, he became a father.
20, istrinya
At the age of 20, his wife left him.
perempuannya. Lalu ia menjadi seorang koki
Then he became a chef and was the dishes in a restaurant.
juga dalam upaya untuk menculik putrinya sendiri, yang akhirnya dia meyakinkan istrinya
Then
untuk
he
bisa kembali
tried to
bekerja.
convince his wife
Usia 65,
to come back to him.
ia pensiun.
In a
Di hari
65
pertama
years old,
pensiunnya,
he
dia
retired.
mendapatkan cek dari pemerintah
He got
$105
$105 from the government.
$1,5 juta rupiah.
with that amount of money, he think that the government couldn't fulfill his needs. So he decided to suicide because he think that this life is not worth, because he keep failing and failing. So under a tree, he write down his intention to suicide, but he canceled that kind of intention, and as the opposite, he wrote a recipe. In the age of 65 years old, he still have a skill, that a cooking skill. Then he asked some money from his friend, around $87, and he cook a fried chicken. He sell this kind of food door to door, and many people reject him. Around 1,000 home reject him, but there is one home that accept him. In a fifth age of 56, he decided to suicide, but then in his 88 years old, he become a millionaire. So it's so in this story, it teaches about to set up our mentality. So don't give up in your dream. So after I know about the people reciting this 6-syllable mantra, there is a bodhisattva that is very diligently reciting this Om Mani Padme Hum mantra. There is a bodhisattva. There is a bodhisattva called Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva that consistent reciting this Om Mani Padme Hum mantra. So this Avalokiteshvara and this Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva is the retinue of the Amitabha Buddha. So his main practice is reciting Om Mani Padme Hum, or in Chinese we call it Tape Chou. So whether you're reciting this long version of the Dharani or the 6-syllable, is all the same. There is no differences between that. So when you recite this 6-syllable mantra, visualize in front of you, there is the Buddha appear in front of you.
Lebar luas sehingga for pusat dimanapun kita pergi pasti.
So have a big heart, so no matter where we go, the bodhisattvas and all the Buddhas will be there. So whether you recite, when you recite Amitabha, the mantra of Amitabha, or the mantra of the Avalokiteshvara, imagine in front of you there is a boundless light Buddha, which is Amitabha. So gradually your mind will expand bigger and bigger. So when you expand your mind bigger and bigger, the Buddhas and the Bodhisattva will be there, appear. So Om Mani Padme Hum came from a Sanskrit, but in English there is another meaning.
Mantra itu adalah teks, charm, ataupun counsel. Ini sangat penting. Kalau bahasa Indonesia, kita sebutkan menteri ya, menteri keuangan.
So there are so many prime minister, like education or health minister.
Yang original wordnya. Nah, ini adalah suatu jabatan politik yang memegang suatu jabatan publik signifikan dalam pemerintah itu.
So in a country, there's a president and a prime minister. The function of the prime minister is to manage.
Mantra juga ingin tembuskan sesuatu hal atau
And it is the same with the mantra, is to purify your obstacles to.
word or phrase that is repeated by someone
So,
who is praying or
so mantra is a word that repeating by someone
or a phrase.
when they are praying.
Repeated often or that expresses someone's basic belief. Itu sangat penting. Harus ada
So it's
basic
important when you
belief.
recite a mantra that you have a basic belief.
Masih ragu-ragu. Nah, kekuatan dari Om Mani Padme Hum juga ya belum 90% ke atas. Sebab our mind is our
Mind is important. Mind will take the lead. So during this event, this rare event. Why is this rare? Because it's a very difficult to find and difficult to happen. Such a big event like this. So you should take advantage of this rare and precious opportunity. Because 2-3 days gone very fast. So make sure you have a basic belief and you focus on your practice. So by reciting this mantra, it will help you to pacify all kind of obstacle in your life generally. Maybe you have a question that, this is very difficult for me to keep my focus, but don't be panic, relax. Think of a Buddha. Before you recite the mantra, do the supplication prayers to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, supplicate to them and make a prayer or aspiration. May you could keep your attention and focus during the practice. Maybe you could burn incense, make offerings, or pay homage before you do the recitation. And don't underestimate yourself. And then make sure yourself keep humble so you could receive all kind of blessings from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas before you start a practice. So when we have a guilty mind or anxiety, you can try like pour down a powder, and then you could spread this powder around. And how you could gather back all the powder that you spread before? Is that possible to gather back? Maybe it will stick on the table or on the floor or around. But try another way. Pour 1 tablespoon of water to your powder, and then this powder and the water will mix. And when you try to throw or spread this powder, it becomes difficult because they stick to each other. So this dry powder that's spread around is like your mind that's full of anxiety. And this 1 tablespoon of water is like this 6-syllable mantra. And pour this 6-syllable mantra to the powder. It's like pour this mantra to your guilty or anxiety mind. So after that, after you pour this mantra to your anxiety mind, it will help you to gather all your scattered mind. So there will be no scattered mind anymore, because it's your scattered mind will stick with the water, stick to each other. So don't be afraid when you have anxiety mind. You cannot say, I don't want this anxiety mind, because it's not possible.
Saya ingin pulang ke Medan.
So I really want to go to Medan to see all of you.
Saya tidak mungkin sampai di Medan. Ini kacau nggak?
But if I cannot do that, if I keep thinking about that, it will make me difficult.
Sudah 30 menit. Saya ingin ke kamar mandi. Pikir timbul.
For example, I sit for a while and then suddenly I think that I want to go to the toilet. Then it will scatter my focus.
So, teman-teman yang saudara, jangan.
So don't be afraid of this arising of this scattered mind.
Ayakan tepung, yaitu melafalkan.
So by reciting this six-syllable mantra, it could clear away your anxiety mind.
Saudara-saudari.
So the more you're afraid, so that anxiety will come off then. So in my experience, don't be afraid with this scattered mind or anxiety, but be friend with that, just like this kind of pandemic. So have acceptance. So we will live together with this pandemic. So we need to have a feeling of acceptance. So some people might recover, some people might not. But there is no reason to be afraid of it. So we should make friends. We shouldn't be enemy with this virus or this kind of illness. We cannot say to this scattered anxiety to not come to us. That's not possible. The more we think of it, that we will feel more anxiety. So how to live a comfortable life without having this anxiety? So beside reciting this Om Mani Padme Hum mantra, also we need to care with our life. Even though this care feeling is weak, but at least we have this sense of caring to our life and also life of others. So we need to have intention to not harm others and also not to harm ourselves. So this also a virtue, or this also kind of a merit.
Mengikis karma buruk kita dan melenyapkan penyakit kita. Justru karena kita.
So how to eliminate the illness and all the bad things or obstacles in ourselves is to develop this loving compassion and also have intention to not harm others and also to keep our own moral discipline. This is very important. So time flies. Next month we will enter a new year. It's 2022. And again, after that, we will celebrate the Chinese New Year. And many people already preparing for that, especially those Chinese people. They are preparing this Chinese New Year. And they also many people selling this, some kind of a calendar, and then fortune telling, preparing themselves for the new lunar year. So many people want a good business.
Apa yang bisa kita dibaca oleh,
and we rely, most of us rely on a fortune teller. We trust them, we believe them, but the fortune teller only could read what is in the past. They couldn't read what's in the future. Because what in the past is what we have done, but what's in the future,
kalau kita banyak berbuat kebajikan, banyak menolong yang lain,
so we should not rely on this fortune teller, because everything could change if we help more people and we be compassionate with other people. Then all the bad things still could change.
apa yang telah kita lakukan yang lampau. Yang lampau memang
So whatever we have done in the past is in the past, but we could change it by doing virtue or merits in our present life. So if we see we're gonna have like a bad year, start from now we can be diligent to recite the Amitabha Buddha mantra or Avalokiteshvara mantra.
hidupnya pas-pasan. Ya, tetapi kalau dia berjuang keras, kalau di lamaran itu hasilnya, Anda ini hidupnya pas-pasan.
So if a fortune teller say you're gonna just live not a very good life, but also not very bad, but if you be diligent with your practice, you could change that. Even though they say you're going to have just a fine life, not very bad, also not very good, but because of your diligence doing the practice and also helping others, and then practice what you have learned from the Dharma, then you can change. So no matter what the fortune teller told you, that's in the past. So in Medan, in Indonesia, many people rely on this fortune teller. So what we have done, we shouldn't be regret. Because what is in the past, we can't change it anymore. But in this present life, we should try our best, be diligent. If you have more, if your measurement for the succeed is just material wealth, maybe it's not enough, because health is included inside, should be included inside, because wealth is not only about material or substantial thing, but also the health that you have right now. So a happy life is a life that with no anger, with no problem, we can call it a happy life.
Meskipun Anda tidak kekurangan materi sebagai orang kaya, bukankah ketentaran yang kita cari dalam kehidupan?
So no matter how much material you have right now, the most important is to have a peaceful life. Ask yourself, is that position and the wealth will make you happy? So the most important is to have a peaceful mind. How to live peacefully. Try your best to live that kind of life. So we could start from a small step, which is by reciting this 6-syllable mantra. So just make intention, I will try my best, I will keep my focus and attention to this kind of practice, and I will be diligent. So don't habituate your greed.
Hiduplah dengan ukuran kepantasan. Nah, ukuran kepantasan ini memang tidak gampang.
So even
saya sering cerita, namanya disebutkan.
So there is no measurement of a worth.
Kita lihat kembali kehidupan orang tua kita. Kalau kita lebih bahagia,
so if we have a more material stuff and then more succeed from our parents,
tidak mungkin loncat sampai 200%, tidak mungkin. Nah, itulah kadang pikiran kacau ini karena kita hilang
So we tend to forget about this worth measurement. Without this worth, we couldn't live a happy life. So if we still have a doubt, try our best and recalling this worth. Why I always feel this kind of dissatisfaction? Why is it happen to me? Even though other people might see you as a rich people, but you don't feel happy about it, and your environment is not supportive for you.
Panas bumi naik karena keserakahan. Sudah terjadi ya masalah yang sangat besar di dunia ini. Ini bukan dinasihatkan, digariskan atau diamalkan. Ini karena kebencian dan keserakahan manusia.
So usually this dissatisfaction came from stinginess and greed and hatred.
Nah, akhirnya datanglah timbulnya tsunami. Itu adalah karena keserakahan.
So to end this short session, there is no other way to change our destiny. It's not to change our destiny is not by asking or begging or go to the fortune teller. It's not like that. But it's only one that you have to try your best again and again. So try to attend this rare event, the recitation of 100 million of 6 syllable. So first, make a supplication prayer to the Buddha in order to keep your attention during this event. So try to recite this kind of mantra with a joyful mind, with delight. So if you have to make a commitment during this event, try your best to calculate first what kind of amount that you are capable. Don't make a big amount, but you couldn't achieve that, but also not to make too small. So try to observe what amount that possible for you to achieve in 1 year. And don't give attention too much to the result, but you have to try your best in the process. The result is not that important compared with the process itself.
Dan ya hidup nyaman, tenteram dan sehat. Semoga ya kita dapat kekuatan.
I hope all of us,
dari Sang Buddha, para
the Buddhas and all Bodhisattva will grant his blessings, empower us. Don't forget to show your gratitude to your parents. Express your gratitude to your partner, to your child, to your grandchildren, and everyone.
Pegawai kita, staf, siapapun orang kekeliling kita.
So be grateful with the people around us.
Karena adanya beliau.
Because of them, I have a comfortable life.
Dengan sukses, dengan tenang. Kenapa? Kemanapun saya pergi, tetap membawa.
So we also make aspiration. May wherever we go, we bring happiness to all. So thank you for listening.
Oleh Suhu Chonghai, mari kita beri aplaus kepada Suhu.
Ya, sesi pengajaran Dharma tadi adalah video rekaman yang dilakukan oleh Suhu beberapa hari lalu karena keterbatasan sinyal. Takutnya kalau live langsung hari ini ada sinyal yang mengganggu nanti, sinyal yang lemah. Tapi hari ini Suhu sudah join bersama kita secara online.
Ya, kita ingin menyapa Suhu melalui Zoom. Kita ingin menyapa Suhu. Ya.
Amitofo,
Suhu.
Siang.
Terima kasih atas pengajarannya, Suhu. Apresiasi kepada Suhu Chongkai secara simbolis.
Dari tim IT, sertifikat penghargaan kepada Suhu Chongkai. Sekali lagi kami ucapkan kepada Suhu Chongkai atas pengajaran Dharma.